Hi Yogi, and welcome to another Yoga Quickie with me, Oceana. In today's practice, I'm really intending to give you a way of waking your mind and body up in the morning that's very gentle and mindful, and hopefully you'll be able to carry that through into the rest of your day. So we'll jump right in with child's pose. So you can have your knees as wide as is comfortable, make sure that the big toes touch. And if it's accessible to you, you can rest your forehead all the way on the floor rather. And if it doesn't quite reach, then feel free to place a pillow or block underneath the forehead instead. And once you get there, simply allow your body to gently nestle down between the thighs, let your elbows relax down. Allow the neck and shoulders to be soft. And for a few rounds of breath, just take a moment to check in with any sensations that are going on in your physical body. Any emotions that have come up since you've woken up. Any thoughts that have popped into your mind since you've been awake. Just without any judgment, assess the situation, sort of what kind of state of being are you in today. And from here, we'll gently walk the hands over towards the left side of the mat into a gentle side bend. So just until you feel a little bit of a tug along the right side of the body. And if you wish to take this a little bit deeper, you can release left hand by the sides of the feet with the palm facing up. And you're pressing back through the right fingertips, sending a little bit of weight into the right sitting bone to deepen that stretch. Very gently, when you're ready, walking the hands through the center in the opposite direction. Again, just until there's a little bit of a sensation of pulling along the left side of the body. And then you can optionally release the right hand down by the sides of the feet with the palm facing up. You could send a little bit more weight through your left hand and fingertips into the left sitting bone to deepen the pose. And again, very gently, on an inhale, walk yourself back to center. From here, shift your weight forward into the hands, coming into tabletop position. Bring the hands under the shoulders, bring the knees under your hips and tuck the toes under. We'll run through a couple of variations of cat-cow pose. So with the toes tucked under here, as you inhale, tilt the tailbone up towards the ceiling, arch the spine and open the chest towards the front of your mat. As you exhale, untuck your toes, press the tops of the feet down and round the spine up towards the ceiling. Send your sitting bones all the way down and back into an extended child's pose. And we'll start to smooth out that movement. So as you inhale, rise up, tuck the toes under and lift the chest and gaze. Exhale, unravel the toes, press your spine up towards the ceiling and all the way back into child's pose. And see if you can start to really match the movement with your own breath. Sort of checking in with the spine, with your shoulders, your knees, your hips. The length of your breath, the quality of breath. And this time as you come into child's pose, we'll meet there. We'll tuck the toes under and lift our sitting bones up and back into downward facing dog. We'll translate that movement into our downward dog, so you can keep the knees really generously bent here and let the heels lift, pressing through the L shape of your index finger and thumb. As you inhale, round the spine forward into your high plank, stack your shoulders on top of the wrists. As you exhale, bend the knees, draw the sitting bones up and back into downward dog. And we'll do that a couple more times again here. As you inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale to arch the spine as you come back into downward dog. One final time here with your breath. As you inhale, come forward into high plank. Very gently lower the knees back into tabletop. As you exhale, step your left foot forward into a low lunge. On an inhale, lift the gaze, lift your arms up and overhead. And 3 times here with the breath. As you exhale, draw the elbows down, pinch the shoulder blades together for cactus arms. Inhale to lift through the fingertips, lengthen up. Exhale to pull down. One final time on this side. Lift as you inhale, exhale to pull down. Re-extend your fingertips towards the ceiling, then take the back of the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left hand goes to the left hip. As you inhale, you grow a little bit taller through the center of your spine, all the way through the crown of the head. As you exhale, see if you can draw the chest open towards the left edge of your mat into that twist. And we'll stay for a few rounds of breath, actively lifting with each inhale. Gently drawing open as we exhale into that twist, really wringing out the spine. One last time. And when you're ready, as you exhale, you frame the front foot, step the front knee to the back and change sides. So simply step the right foot forward. Again, drawing the front heel towards the back knee to actively engage the legs. As we inhale, we lift the gaze and then draw the arms overhead. And 3 times as you exhale, again, draw the shoulder blades down and together into those cactus arms. Let the inhale sweep your fingertips up towards the ceiling and exhale to draw down. Last one here. With that last inhale, draw the fingertips up, take the back of the left hand to the outside of the right knee, right hand goes to the right hip. On the inhale, growing tall through the crown of the head. With the exhale, opening the chest towards the right side of your mat. And moving in that same way with the breath, a few rounds here. Next inhale brings you back through center. As you exhale, you frame the front foot. Bring that knee to the back. Tuck the toes under and exhale all the way to downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. And from here, big toes touch at the back of the mat. As you inhale, left leg lifts up and back into 3-legged dog, point the toes, reach back. As you exhale, left knee draws towards the nose. You can round the forehead in and really lift the knee up for tiger's curl. And either stepping, shimmying, or using your hands to get the foot forward between the hands. Heels are in one line, we spin the back heel down. And as you inhale, both arms lift into our warrior 1.5. So the center of the torso is pointing forward towards the right front corner of the mat. So sort of halfway between warrior 1 and 2. You're lifting through the fingertips, letting the shoulders be soft, pressing through the outer edge of the back foot and the front heel, and gently drawing the knitting the ribs in together, rather. As you exhale, the hands interlace behind the back. You lift the chest as you inhale, rolling the shoulders back. As you exhale, left shoulder towards the left knee. The crown of the head might be reaching towards the floor. Maybe the arms are lifting overhead, but you're still actively squeezing your left hip in towards the center line. And pressing through your front big toes, you inhale, you lift all the way back up. Releasing the arms forward and back, adjusting your stance if you need to for warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Back hand to the back thigh, flip your front palm up and overhead into a reverse warrior, lengthening through entire left side of the body. As you inhale, you come back through warrior 2. Palms reach down, you have a soft buoyancy to your fingers as if your hands are supported by 2 balloons. And then from here, front forearm to the front thigh, top arm reaches towards the ceiling for Parshvakonasana, extended side angle pose. Optional to stay here a little bit higher, or maybe that bottom hand is reaching towards the floor and top hand might even reach forward with the pinky finger edge spinning towards the ground. As you exhale, top hand comes down, you frame the front foot, tuck the back toes under as you exhale to step yourself back into a high plank. Lower the knees gently. Tuck the elbows in, take the gaze forward. Exhale to come all the way down to the floor. Now, if you have experienced lower back pain recently, make sure you keep your feet at least hip distance here. Otherwise, glue the legs together. Squeeze the big toes and heels together. Interlace the hands again behind the back. And on an inhale, lift your hands, roll the shoulders back, reach through your big toes. Crown of the head is reaching forward in opposite direction to the feet. And we stay for a few rounds of breath. Lifting a little bit higher as you inhale, softening down as you exhale, and keeping that movement of the breath, allowing it to inform your posture. Making this your final inhale. As you exhale, allow the arms to release by the sides of the hips. Spin your right ear towards the floor, let the shoulders round forward. If that's a bit too much for the neck, you can stack your hands under the forehead and keep the head in the center line. And gently, when you're ready, bring yourself back into the center, plant the hands under the shoulders and exhale. Briefly press yourself all the way back into a child's pose, sitting bones towards the heels, pressing back actively to lengthen the lower back. Toes tuck under, we come up into our downward facing dog as we exhale. For the second side, we bring the big toes to touch. On an inhale, right leg lifts up and back for three-legged dog. As we exhale, right knee towards the nose, shoulders forward on top of the wrists in tiger's curl, pressing the floor away. And then stepping, shimmying, or using our hands to bring the foot between the hands. Back heel spins to the ground. Heels in one line as you inhale, both arms reach up into your warrior 1.5. Center of the torso pointing towards the left front edge of your mat. Pressing through the outer edge of the back foot and the front big toe. Stay for your last few rounds of breath, really knitting the ribs and front body together. Interlace the hands, this time the unusual way, behind your back. So one pinky finger over. If it feels uncomfortable, you're probably in the right place. As you inhale, the shoulders roll back, you lift the chest towards the chin. On the exhale, right shoulder towards the right knee, arms overhead if they want to. Maybe crown of the head reaching towards the floor in humble warrior. Actively squeezing right hip in towards the center line. And with an inhale, using the front big toe to bring yourself back up to center. Windmilling the arms into warrior two. Adjusting your back foot if you need to slightly. As you exhale, back hand to the back thigh. Reverse the warrior, reaching the top arm up and overhead. Lengthening through right side of the waist. As you inhale, come back into your warrior two. Almost rushing you along here. Again, allow your fingertips to have that soft buoyancy through the hands, that support of those invisible balloons. Then bring your front forearm to the front thigh. Reach up through your top hand. Open the chest in Parashvakonasana. Optional to bring the bottom hand down. Maybe even top hand reaching overhead with the pinky finger edge spinning down. As you exhale, you frame the front foot, tuck the back toes under and step back to a high plank, shoulders on top of the wrists. Lower the knees, tuck the elbows in to come all the way onto your belly. Again, yogi's choice. You can keep your feet at least hip distance if that helps with any pinching in the lower back. Otherwise, the legs are glued together. Big toes touch. The fingers interlace behind the back the unusual way again. As you inhale, the legs reach back, crown of the head reaches forward, shoulders roll back. There's just a very soft bend on the elbows. Each inhale lifts you a little bit higher. The exhale softens you down, just a fraction. And we stay for our last few rounds of breath, lifting with each inhale. Softening on the exhale. Last in-breath here. As you exhale, you release all the way down, hands by the sides of the hips, palms facing up, left ear towards the ground to stretch the left side of the neck. Or of course, you bring the hands under the forehead. And when you're ready, shifting the head back into center, hands under the shoulders. You exhale yourself all the way back into a child's pose, a counter posture to the back bend. Let the body soften down, allow your breath to come back to its natural cycle. And then gently press into the hands to shift your weight all the way up and back into downward facing dog as you exhale. Bend the knees deeply, take the gaze forward towards your hands. Step the feet to the front of the mat. Take your feet at least shoulder distance, maybe even as wide as your mat when you get there. Soft bend on the knees to allow the belly to sit on top of the thighs. Let the crown of the head hang, and maybe grab hold of opposite elbows. Have a little shimmy side to side, a sway of the upper body. So over time, the spine starts to draw a little bit closer towards the floor, and we create a little bit of length. And switch the hand that's on top, and maybe for a brief moment you find a little bit of stillness. If you want to work towards straightening the backs of the legs, feel free, but let the head be really heavy. Let the shoulders draw down. Let gravity take over the upper body. And then gently, hands on top of the shins, let the spine round as you come up, stacking one vertebra on top of the next as you let the shoulders and the head be the very, very final things to lift up. And from here, heel toeing the feet under your hips. Inhale to lift the arms all the way up and overhead. Really reach through the fingertips and make yourself as long as you possibly can. Maybe for a moment even shifting all the way onto your tiptoes. And then as you exhale, bring the hands together to the heart center. Bow the forehead towards the fingertips. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up on your mat today to practice, for dedicating this time to yourself, a disciplined act of love. And take a moment to give thanks to your body for all the things it's capable of. And then possibly you plant a little seed of positive intention, a sankalpa, for the rest of your day or the week ahead of you. And of course, if you can't think of one for yourself, then send it out to somebody else who might need it more than you do. The light in me recognizes the light in you. Namaste, yogi. So as always, thank you so much for joining me in today's practice. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below in the comment section. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and spread the good word. If you want to find me anywhere else online, I'll leave it all in the description to the video. And of course, I hope to see you back on the mat very soon, yogi. Until then, namaste.